the house, which ended up serving as like a jail of sorts, that they had converted into a place with bars that people could be imprisoned in, where it actually ends up being a combined Fletch and Trusty Tony simultaneously do hear deliberate movement coming from within the building. Someone making footsteps does not sound as if they're like quiet or cautious, rather it does sound as if it's like a boot against the wooden floor.
Does it sound like a zombie shuffle, or
well,
like
Fletch and Trusty Tony
footsteps?
think that the footsteps sound fairly deliberate, not like someone trying to be quiet. It's hard to tell, like, immediately from what they can hear, whether it's a zombie or a human. They just sound like footsteps. Human footsteps.
Get good.
Turn to the others in motion. But hear something inside.
I heard it too.
What are we looking at for possible entry?
Well, it's the jail that you folks broke out of ever so long ago, with a front door and a back door.
Should we try to go the nice way or go the loud way?
You're the only one with bullets, so...
Well, I meant try to reason or just kick in the door.
Well, it didn't have to be that way.
They might have guns, so I really am not in the startling mood.
The footsteps come to a halt, somewhere within the building.
We could also
there's only one. It's only one person, right?
Trusty Tony can't tell.
There's at least one. We just want to sneak in then?
Could try. I'm not exactly being very. Yeah, Potman was not being very sneaky earlier.
We noticed that too.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. It's alright, Potman.
Alright, we can try to make quiet entry.
And if the situation calls for it, we can try to talk our way out of it.
Alright.
Yeah.
As you three begin to enact your course of action, you hear a voice, masculine, and saying, "Oh, whatever, there's nothing in here anyway."
Is it familiar at all?
No.
Okay.
Does it sound like it's directed at us?
It's as it was said.
It sounds like somebody talking to themselves after looking for things and finding nothing.
So it's another scavenger.
Might be a real raider.
We could
Yes.
dive for hiding spots, wait for him to come out, and
Then jump him?
confront, yeah.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Potman is on board for diving for a hiding spot.
Alright, let's do it.
Let's take up ambush points.
I don't know if you know this about him, but he's not a fan of fighting. Or
Really?
standing his ground.
Tell me more.
Right?
So let's see here. Trust. No, that won't. I'm a little bit. Yeah, this. No, I'm a bit too fat for that one. Trusty Tony's having an internal-external monologue.
Sure.
Sounds very external to me.
Yeah. Sounds internal to him, though.
Well, perception and stealth can be used to find good hiding places.
True.
For yourselves.
No,
Yeah,
that's mental.
Yeah. 12. That's a good result.
Alright. That'll give Fletch and Trusty Tony a +2 to their dexterity plus stealth checks again. You can say that's important. Where are you folks locating yourselves at in relation around the jail?
Still within line of sight, but otherwise not close.
Like looking at the front of it?
Oh, yeah, to see the guys
looking at
comes
the
out
main
ideally.
door, I assume.
Okay.
Yeah, the main door.
I'd like to place myself somewhere close if I can, where I'll... Like, if they walk out the main door and walk 10 or 15 feet, I would be behind them. So off to the side from the door?
Yeah, maybe. Considering the lack of trees or bushes anywhere around.
About the edge of the building.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yep, the edge.
And Trusty Tony ended up doing the same.
The other edge.
The other edge.
We'll have him caught in a triangle of crossfire from one gun.
Potman ends up like picking like a spot on like the other side of the road. Like he thinks he's like behind like a tree that's like slumming him. Like no one can see me behind here.
So now we roll actual stealth checks.
Go ahead and do that. Roll them secretly.
Hell yeah, that was a good roll. I can already tell.
I can feel it.
I could just feel it. I could feel it in Aaron's bones.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's how good.
Get out of my head.
I wasn't in your head, Aaron. I was in your bones.
Alright.
His head has some bone.
Okay. The three of you end up assuming your hiding positions. Aaron, I want you to make a roll secret perception plus notice.
And you will apply.
I will handle anything that needs to apply.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The boots. They continue again. They mill around the house for, I don't know. They just regularly stop and then start again. And then stop and start again. Minute, 2 minutes. And then they stop. And minute or two later, they don't start again. They remains quiet inside the house.
Either he found something or he heard or saw us.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Another minute, so 3 minutes.
I feel like I'm about to get something stabbed into my back.
Another minute, so 4 minutes.
Hmm.
5 minutes without hearing any boot steps.
Potman's starting to get antsy.
Clever bastard took off his boots.
Meanwhile, back out at the front with the car.
Oh boy.
Yes, Cat. Cat, who's why don't you tell us a bit about what Cat's been doing here while she's on her own, waiting at the vehicle.
Cat's mostly just been spending her time kind of staring blankly out at the open area, a little bit paranoid, but not too concerned, since she's moved herself into the driver's seat.
Man, I was hoping to hear that you'd left it idling so you could crank up your tunes.
No!
You listen to Rush loudly.
Listening to Rush loudly.
Right. Well,
Just looking around a bit, but for the most part, kind of leaning back in the chair a little bit, ready to snap forward if she has to.
all right. Well, it actually ends up being Cat then. While she's looking around a bit, keeping a close eye on things since there's some edge involved in her being alone. Walking out of one of the side entrances and actually walking towards the front is I suppose at first glance, an unsettling looking figure, and how distinguished he looks. Almost as if like the zombie apocalypse has like come at him, and then he's just like brushed it off like any other would, like a speck of dust. Take a look at him, maybe 5'9", 5'10". He appears to be solidly built. He's got some muscle on him. He's got a light shirt on, and it appears to be like a thicker, heavier shirt over that. So multiple shirts, along with a pair of cargo pants. He's got a backpack on him. He's got a baseball bat as well, and then carrying in his right hand appears to be a very large gun. Cat's not familiar with guns, but that one appears to be larger than others that she's seen.
Larger than the saw.
It's a large gun.
Okay, it's just...
Like, on the higher scale of guns, Cat's not familiar with guns or gun sizes, but it's a bigger gun than the .22.
It's a double plus gun.
Yes, it's a double plus gun. I like that. From,
It's a
1984.
gun that kills people.
The gentleman rather quickly and astutely, he appears to be looking at the car and at you, but that does not slow down his approach. He's maybe 30 feet away, and he's just careful strides. He doesn't appear to be arrogant. He's cautiously approaching. The gun's not pointed at you in the car, but it's at his side.
Well, gonna take a second to think about this, and I could try to run him over, but there's the starting of the car and the chance for him to
With
risk
what
his
keys?
weapon. Yeah, exactly.
What
You actually
keys?
took the keys with you. You did.
Hell
Trusty
yes.
Tony always takes the keys with him. I didn't even ask him. I just assumed that was true.
Shit's got the parking gear is in place and everything.
Okay.
He's not going to let his car get stolen.
Yes.
By someone he knows.
So this amiable-looking man, he is walking your direction. Less than 30 feet now. What do you do?
Oh, less than 30 feet. Don't have the car keys.
Bat duel.
Probably just going to wave at this point and say, hello.
Oh,
He breaks out into a smile and says, "Pleasant day we're having."
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. I mean,
Still
hopefully
walking towards you.
Could be raining.
Yeah. Well, still not really gonna get out of the car, but just keep watching him. I mean, any other action would be
you roll up the window and lock the doors.
So what brings you
No
out?
windshield. You're worried about rolling up the window.
And then says, "So where do you come from?"
Probably a place that you wouldn't know. Summer Meadows. It was a nice little town, and then kind of look around. All of this happened.
Right, I understand. Still walking towards you. Now we'll say less than 15 feet.
I still don't really plan on leaving the car because any action I do would probably be considered as either trying to escape to get other people, or maybe even offensive.
Continue to walk. Your friends, I assume they're your friends. That's why you're waiting by the vehicle. Quite noisy in there. You should chide them about that. Another, disarming grin.
Well, they did bring, God, I can't use names for this, but they did bring the larger one in the suit.
Didn't see him.
Did you see a kind of nervous, twitchy-looking guy?
Oh, yes. Quite.
Yeah, it's either one of those two. The other one's a little harder to find, usually.
Really quickly, let's tell exactly what
Let's give him all the information.
He nods. There were 3 of them. All right.
Yeah.
Now he's within 10 feet.
So, I assume we're here to take a car. I mean, I don't have the keys, so that's kind of a problem.
No, the car's fine. You can keep the car. I want the car.
Oh.
His eyes pass over you, sort of staring, observing your body as it sits there in the vehicle. Oh. Something happened with your arm? You get bitten?
Gunshot.
Oh, yes.
Funny story. This place used to belong to some people with guns, and then it got worse.
Okay. Well, he actually reaches close enough to, tap the roof of the car, and he says, "You have a pleasant day now." And he starts walking away past you.
You too, man.
Okay.
I'm inclined to just let him leave.
Back to the others who now Trusty Tony's like, "I want to go into the jail."
I'm surprised he waited this long.
Yeah.
I was waiting
Yeah,
for him.
Potman's getting antsy with his waiting, but he's just like, no.
So he's like, fuck it,
Just
kicking
wait
this.
him out.
All right.
I'm going in.
Trusty Tony kicks in the already open door and enters the jail.
He kicks the door shut and then open again.
All right. Trusty Tony with his rather reckless demeanor. Who knows what could be waiting in ambush for him?
He's
With a
two-handing the
shotgun.
knife.
Two-handing the knife. Keep in mind he doesn't have any bullets in the gun and the weapon that he's familiar with.
Yeah.
He's two-handing the knife in his recklessness. So what does Trusty Tony do immediately after this?
Stabs the first thing that looks like an evildoer.
Himself?
Did he find a mirror or what?
He's just.
An
He's
evil
just
doer?
gonna stab at shadows and basically be a little bit rabid for a moment.
Fletch?
He's going to use the doorway as cover and try to cover him with the gun and then start staring on in amazement as he swings ravenously at nothing.
Eugene?
He's gonna cover the rear, which is a polite way of saying he doesn't move up.
Alright, well, Trusty Tony begins to exert himself through the entire jail area. Maybe 2 minutes of him stabbing shadows. I know you're in there! Ah! Huh? Oh yeah, you're clever. I heard you stop moving. I can see your poop. I know you were here. Ah!
Didn't have to be this way.
Yeah, it didn't have to be this way. And after his 2 minutes of heavy exertion, no endurance point loss, panting a little.
After the first 20 seconds or so, I'd just lower the gun and walk over towards... walk to Potman and just be like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
This is like watching Trusty Tony when he was talking with all those girls in Artesia. It's just like, okay. Yes. So after all that, Trusty Tony realizes a few things. For one, the knife doesn't work that way.
Damn it.
Two, he didn't stab anyone. And three, if there was anyone in here who intended him harm, they probably would have harmed him by now. So either they're really good at hiding and he didn't notice in his blood rage, which is certainly possible, he wasn't really looking.
I was not following that rabid beast inside.
Yeah. Trusty Tony's the only one in the jail, which looks empty, although there are absolutely no signs of anyone that he can immediately see.
He's gonna weakly call it clear.
Uh-huh.
Alright then.
Well, I think that was the last building.
Sure.
If not, then we can clear the rest, but
Yeah, you can.
I imagine we
might
can
be
start...
like another house or two.
Yeah, I imagine we can start scavenging if it's clear.
Yeah, I guess so. Something tells me we're not gonna find much, but we can keep looking.
There's at least several bodies out there with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we can. Yeah, maybe. All right.
And we can skim through the houses and see what little things we can find.
Well, it's getting August, so
Yeah,
it's
one
gonna
thing
start
I pointed out was that winter is coming, so
clothes.
warm clothing.
Sure.
Can we start battlefield scavenging of dead zombies now?
I don't know about them.
We could wash them
If it's in good condition, but I get the impression most of what they have is not.
So I guess we start scavenging whatever.
Guns
We
and
can.
bullets.
All right.
Pretty much everything we can find.
Okay. With that in mind, this is going to take some time for you folks, you three, to thoroughly pick through this area. I would like a scavenging plus perception -2.
This is at a -2.
Mhm.
So it's an 11.
Okay.
I already have a -2.
To search thoroughly through all these buildings, you're looking at
Crap.
maybe a half hour of time, perhaps more. Obviously, you want to look and analyze things since you guys are pretty thorough bone pickers.
Excellent.
Nope.
I rolled secret.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I will go ahead and report your roll to everyone. That was what you rolled to me.
Okay.
Pretty impressive. Well, fucking Trusty Tony, he's got this. Well, while you folks are continuing to pick through things, we can go back to Kat.
Yeah.
She'll still sit in the vehicle. It's been, maybe 2-3 minutes since the gentleman walked past, said hello, and he walked away. You can crane your head, he's out of view now.
Trying to sigh and just say to myself, well, that sure happened. He didn't walk back towards where the rest of the group went, so really not concerned. As long as he doesn't start walking back here with the gun up or with more friends.
Right, right. Can I get a roll secret perception plus notice from you?
He's actually in the back seat.
The whole time.
He got in the back seat of the car while she's in the front seat. She never noticed.
Yep.
Well, if he's that good, he deserves to come along with us.
The
He
window
just
is
leans
cracked.
close and says, "So where are we going?"
The window is cracked and he snaked his way in.
He just jumped through the door.
Apparently, I am incapable of spelling secret.
Okay.
Secret.
Socrat.
You go ahead and make roll that. Okay. All right. Well, it's maybe another 3-4 minutes later where Cat actually ends up spotting him. He's walking at his same cautious pace, but he's actually walking back, from behind the vehicle towards Cat again. Still got, the same equipment on. He hasn't changed. Still carrying the gun. Still pointed down at the ground.
Still seems oddly composed for everything going on.
He does have that odd aura, like the zombie apocalypse. Like, he looks cleaner than, basically until you folks had taken showers in that reactor room area with the clean decontamination showers. He looks fairly clean, all things considered.
Yep.
Like I said, the longer we stay alive, the more hardened the survivors are going to be.
Cat just remain in the vehicle.
Just hang out.
Okay.
Maybe wave
I
again.
want to say something so bad, but it's just so meta.
All right. Well, the gentleman eventually does end up walking back up to the front where Cat is, and he keeps like a few feet distance from the door. So like if you want to like swing it open, you could actually like get out if you so wished. He just stands there and he looks over at you and says, "Would have thought they would have come out here by now."
They get usually distracted by something shiny.
Well, Tony called clear on the radio, so...
I assume they're fine. Usually there's a lot more screaming when something goes wrong.
Just scavengers too. Do you folks have anywhere else that you're staying? I would actually like to. It's kind of rough being out here on my own,
Look for
Sorry,
a place.
man. Car only seats 4.
Oh man, no, but
I mean, if he can bring net food or food providing skills to the table.
We're not there, Aaron.
I'm not gonna grill him while he's right there.
No, I'm talking about.
Cat?
Yeah, we're pretty much scavengers. We're based a ways out from here, though.
Oh yeah. How far?
Yeah. Trying to think how far Boonesboro was from Ortisha, actually.
It's like 4 miles.
Yeah, it's really not that far. Actually, you could probably walk there.
In
No.
fact, we once walked there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes glance down to the car. It's pretty rare that I actually see like a working vehicle out here. Most of the others I've come across have been wrecked through one means or another.
Well, one of my friends that you kind of heard, he's pretty good with cars, if not much else. Oh, he's also a good shot, but that's neither here nor there, is it?
You guys have like an auto shop where you manage to base up?
I wish.
Oh. You just carry all the tools with you then?
Not with us. We carry it back there. Hell, I actually don't even know where he keeps his stuff.
Oh. He looks a bit... So you weren't the one who was left with the keys then?
Nope.
Rather distrustful of him, isn't it? I mean, what if something happened and you needed to drive the vehicle somewhere?
He's kind of an asshole.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I know how that goes. While the three of you are still continuing to scavenge, Trusty Tony, he's working on finding those things with his 2 successes that he got with the -2 penalty and says, "So just the 4 of you then in scavengers?"
There's a good amount of other people there as well.
A good amount. You actually have like a town that you folks stay at?
Wouldn't call it a town. Got some ex-military hanging around.
Oh. He pauses and like thinks, but Fort Drake?
Damn it, Cat.
You wouldn't have asked that if you didn't already know. So yeah, pretty much.
Like, I thought that place was closed.
Oh yeah, it's sort of closed. I mean, we did just have a wave of cultists and good old-fashioned, walkers.
Cultists?
Yeah. One of the undead guys was a bit special, and well, let's just say that it got a cult.
That's interesting, because I'd seen the remnants of a ritual just within the walls there. It was pretty weird.
Ritual? I mean, was it body burning? Because that's what this cult was really into.
It did seem to be that way, yeah. Also, a lot of texts I really can't read. Latin or whatever. Wasn't my thing,
Yeah.
Alright. Oh.
So, I assume you would really like to be somewhere not alone, having to actually worry when you're sleeping, right?
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Although, to be fair, being alone does have its advantages.
Until the rats get to you.
Sort of like this. And, I want you to make an initiative roll for me, Chris.
Boy.
Still just biting my tongue.
Bite your tongue as much as you want.
Okay, he does have fast reaction time. He's in point-blank range. He turns and lifts the gun to you, and he fires at you.
Haha!
Go ahead and give him an attack roll for the situation. Let's see, you're pretty much sitting down. It'll be pretty hard for you to dodge here.
She's got a door, though.
She does have a door.
Does at the door.
He, despite all of his advantages, there is a rather loud boom of a gun as pretty much the bullet goes whizzing right past Cat's head.
Alright.
Guys, that sounded like a gunshot.
There's it's
No.
on where, yeah, Cat's gonna just slam that door open into him.
I did say that he was standing far enough away from the door that he couldn't be hit by it.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's going to knock the door off its hinges into him.
She's going to kick sideways and hurl the door
Oh,
at him.
my apologies. I forgot to add his point blank. That's a +1.
I wasn't going to say anything.
That would be a point blank for a +1. And it would be pretty hard for you to dodge. I would definitely give that a, given your situation, sitting in the vehicle as it were, I would say that's a -4 penalty to your dexterity plus dodge.
Can't really use acro to get out of a car in this situation, could I?
Dodge by leaping through the window.
We'll see how well you roll on your dodge.
I even have dodge.
Well, it'd be an acrobatics for you.
Yeah.
And it would be with a -4.
Let's just straight dex then.
Uh-huh.
Can we do it?
I'd like to believe.
I wish you luck.
Yes. In that case, it is back to being your turn. With that in mind,
Let's just leap out the window.
we'll see
Leap
that.
out the window.
Sure. We'll say that you manage to
Into
leap out
one
the passenger window and put the car between you and him.
Okay then.
The logistics are mind-boggling.
The logistics are mind-boggling for how you did this. I
And with
possibly
only
could have
one
assigned
intact
you
arm.
a greater penalty. Yes, with only one. Well, that should be a -3 penalty, but she still managed to do that anyway. The power of tens.
Power of 10.
Yes.
It was a 17 total.
Yes. So good news now, because you leap far away. I mean, you could reach him and still attack him, we'll say.
Did that look like a single shot or like a...
He only fired one shot.
I should rephrase that. Not knowing much about guns, I would still figure that I could tell the difference between, like, something that requires, like, multiple, like, a reload after each shot.
It looks like it has, like, he has multiple rounds in the gun.
Okay.
It's a handgun.
Do an
Oh, it's
acrobatic slide across the hood and then a flying death strike from above.
That was